Hallihallo und herzlich willkommen zum
Hello and welcome to the Evalanche how-to video on the topic of Introduction to the Evalanche User Interface. Thematically, this two-part video is an introduction to Evalanche. In addition to this first part, Introduction to the User Interface, there will also be a second part focusing on Advanced Working in Evalanche. So, let's get straight to it.
So, nun geht es aber direkt los.
In this video, I show you the structure of the user interface with the basic functions it contains, which are part of the basics when working with Evalanche on a daily basis. Use your login URL to log in to Evalanche for the first time. You will be taken to the login screen. Depending on the database, this is snem.com, snem2.com or snem3.com. If you have also ordered your own working domain or interface domain, you should enter your specific URL. Then please enter your username and password and, if necessary, your YubiKey as an additional security feature and click on Login. Once you have successfully logged in, you will be taken to the main Evalanche workspace, which is divided into several basic areas. At the top is the logo bar, to the left is the folder navigation and to the right is the actual main workspace with the Evalanche desktop and the icon-based quick access. I will now describe the individual areas, starting with the logo bar. On the far right, details and settings for my user data are displayed by clicking on my name. In the General Settings section, I can view tips and adjust the number of objects in the history. You can currently see 3 objects, more on this in the second video. In the Change Password section, I can enter a new password if required. The interface language can be changed on the far left. Please note that although all system folders and fields are translated when the language is changed, folders and fields that you have created yourself retain the names and are therefore not translated. You can use the letter icon to contact Evalanche support. The client ID shown in the URL above will be sent to the support team. In addition, you should provide the support team with a detailed and comprehensible description of your problem and the object ID of the objects involved. You can find the ID either in the list view or within the object in the Configuration tab at the bottom under Optional. But I will show you this in more detail later. By default, the support staff cannot see any personal data, for example in target groups, pools or campaigns. If personal data is relevant for the support request or its solution, you will have to grant a time-limited data release for the support team. The Evalanche Help Center is the first point of contact for all questions about Evalanche. The help topics are divided into the 3 main categories: Quick Start, Basics, and Use Cases, as well as different thematic categories. Alternatively, you can also use the search field to navigate to the topic you are looking for. To log out, click on the Logout button on the far right or simply close the browser. Depending on your security policy, the system will automatically log you out after approximately 30 minutes of inactivity. You will find the current account name at the top of the folder navigation on the left-hand side. If your account contains several clients and your user rights give you permission to do so, you can switch between the individual clients here or jump to the global level. At the global level, you will also see the clients in the main workspace. To be able to switch to the global level, your user also has to be created globally. You usually work within a client that also contains a folder structure where you can find all objects such as mailings, forms, web objects, articles, etc. organized in folders. By default, all folders are system folders. The triangle next to the folders indicates that there are subfolders in each of these folders. The only exception here is the Profiles folder, which only contains pool objects and the blacklist, but cannot contain any subfolders. By clicking on the text of the folder, you can display the contents of the folder in the main workspace, usually in the so-called list view. Here you can also see the object IDs that you may need for support requests. Use the gear menu to the right of the folder to create new folders, cut or copy folders, rename the folder or change the folder color. To create a new folder or subfolder, simply open the gear menu in the respective folder, click on New Folder, enter the name 2023, for example, in the field below and click on New. You can also press Tab once on the keyboard after clicking on New Folder to name a new folder, Partner Newsletter, and then confirm the entry with Enter. If you move the mouse over the folder icon, the mouse pointer changes to a move pointer. You can now arrange the folders as you wish by dragging and dropping them within the same folder level. Attention! The order of the folders affects all users working in this client. To be able to delete a folder, it has to be empty. If there are still subfolders or objects in a folder, you cannot delete this folder. The delete menu item is only displayed if the folder is empty, for example the subfolder, Partner Newsletter. In the folder navigation area, you will also see the menu items Favorites, Global and Reports. These and other menu items can be shown or hidden using the context menu with the 3 dots. You can change the order of the menu items by dragging and releasing the handles on the 3 bars. Unlike the folder order, this change only applies to your current user. Now let's take a closer look at the main workspace. To do this, switch to the System folder Mailings. You will see a list of objects, the so-called list view here with columns for object name, type of object, in this case emailings, and ID. The ID is a unique sequence of numbers. When submitting support requests, you should always give the support team an object ID so that it is clear exactly for which object you need support. The columns in the list view can also be configured using the context menu, for example to show additional columns such as URL and creation date. If you want to permanently adjust the display of the columns, please click on the Save Permanently button. The changes are then also permanently saved for other list views. The times for changes are specified in UTC. For UTC, system time in Germany, 2 hours must be subtracted from the current time in summer and 1 hour in winter. In the list view, you can select individual or multiple objects using the checkboxes on the left-hand side and then delete or copy or cut and paste the selected objects together. Clicking on the checkmark above the checkboxes inverts the selection which has been made. This means that if no object is selected, clicking on the checkmark selects all objects in the list view. If you paste the copied objects into the same folder, Evalanche adds the postfix, copy, to the name of the copy. If the copy is pasted into a different folder, the original object name is retained. To delete the object I have just inserted, I check the box, click on Delete and confirm the deletion. As an alternative to folder-based navigation through Evalanche, you can also access the objects with the icon-based quick access. Simply click on Start in the tab navigation at the top of the main workspace to access the following menu. Click on the icons to jump to the corresponding system folder. Clicking on the plus sign creates a new object in the respective folder. If you open an object by clicking on it, further menu items and sub-menu items appear to edit the object further. Clicking on the list icon takes you back to the list view. Clicking on Start takes you back to the icon-based quick access. If you have already opened an object and click on another object, any unsaved changes to the previous object are discarded. If you want to create a new object while an object with unsaved changes is already open, you will receive a corresponding warning message from the system. There are different ways to create new objects. In the icon-based quick access, all you need to do is click on the plus sign, as shown above. In the list view, you can create new objects by clicking on the New button, which opens a selection menu of available objects. In system folders, you can only create objects that match the system folder. This restriction does not apply to self-created folders and you have a full selection of objects. Now you know the most important basic functions of Evalanche. With this knowledge, you can navigate your way through Evalanche. Be sure to take a look at the second part. An even deeper introduction awaits you. You are sure to find some good input there.
So viel von meiner Seite zum ersten Teil.
That's all I have to say about the first part of the introduction to the user interface. It's great that you kept going until the end. I hope you were able to take something away with you. Have fun and success exploring and expanding your possibilities with Evalanche and see you soon in another video. Bye.
Weiterhin viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Ausloten und Erweitern eurer Möglichkeiten mit Evalanche und bis bald in einem anderen Video. Ciao.